At the annual World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, held from the 16th to 20th of January, weighty conversations took place, particularly regarding climate change. As the crisis intensifies, billionaires and world leaders are pledging to create and enact climate affirmative policies. The theme of the meeting this year, Cooperation in a Fragmented World, called for businesses and global institutions to work together to combat pressing issues affecting the world today, and climate change is a priority. Here are some of the key statements and takeaways from the discussion. Many world leaders made emphatic comments on the state of the world today. UN Chief Antonio Guterres accused big oil of peddling lies about climate change in reference to Exxon having predicted global warming. He also went on to talk about efforts to mitigate global heating, saying that every week brings a new climate horror story and that greenhouse gas emissions are at record levels. The commitment to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees is going up in smoke. Without further action, we are headed to a 2.8-degree rise, said Guterres. Al Gore told a panel that the crisis was getting worse faster than the world was tackling it. John Kerry called incentives to decarbonize for the private sector and investors the biggest transformation economically since the Industrial Revolution. Despite statements such as these, activists see Davos as a platform for governments and big corporations to greenwash, as CEOs and oil companies rub shoulders with heads of state. On the surface, the climate sessions at Davos refer to a diverse range of issues: the interplay of food, energy and water, the polar crisis, as well as on the future of our cities. The discussion on the interplay of food, energy and water featured Minister for Renewable Energy R.K. Singh, who said that developed countries should deliver on their commitments towards transforming food systems in the developing world by providing affordable access to irrigation, fertilizers and markets for small farmers. He also said that India is giving farmers millions of solar-powered water pumps. The country will soon have enough green ammonia to cease importing ammonia-based fertilizers, which account for a significant portion of its import costs, and also responded to accusations of India continuing to buy Russian oil, saying that it was only a small portion when compared to what the West was buying, and that the West should end all oil trade with Russia first. The urgency to not just conserve the Amazon rainforest but also make efforts to restore the forest ecosystem was also on the agenda. Approximately 2 million square kilometers of the Amazon has been deforested, and reforestation requires investment, monitoring, and a strong government commitment, said the World Economic Forum. How businesses can prepare and implement sustainable policies to tackle air pollution and other crises was also at the forefront, since Davos is said to be a meeting of billionaires. Together with the Clean Air Fund, the forum launched the Alliance of Clean Air at COP26 in 2021. Since then, 16 influential business leaders have committed to measuring and reducing air pollutants coming from their operations and their value chains. Climate change is the main long-term challenge facing the global economy, but governments aren't prepared to tackle it, the World Economic Forum said in its annual Global Risks Report published on January 11th prior to the meeting. The report ranks global risks, outlining crises in order of priority. In the next 2 years, the ranking is dominated by the cost of living crisis. But looking at the next decade, climate action failure has the top spot, with 6 environmental risks featuring in the top 10. However, despite all of this, activists have remained wary. Climate activists protested in Davos last Sunday against the role of big oil firms at WEF, saying that they were taking over and hijacking the debate. This was in response to major energy firms including BP, Chevron and Saudi Aramco, who are among the 1,500 business leaders gathered for the annual meeting in the Swiss resort. Prior to the meeting, climate activists also addressed a letter to those attending which outlined what the conversation should focus on with regard to climate change. They said that low-carbon economies make economic sense, renewable energy can insulate from global shocks, and there should be an increase in renewable energy investment, as well as a focus on cross-border and global collaborations. The role billionaires play in the climate crisis, with massive carbon footprints courtesy their lifestyles, has long been part of the climate dialogue. In reference to the cost of living crisis, more than 200 members of the ultra-rich from 13 countries have asked world leaders to tax them. This is Antara Barua for ThePrint. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.